Hello and welcome to the Awazi podcast after long last. I'm sorry for the big hiatus, but we're back and I'm your host Insai, as you know, reporting live now from the Nubia Media Studio. We finally made it out of the actual closet. So yay for me. Today, I'd like to welcome the bubbliest, loveliest couple you would ever meet. First, in the right corner, we have our experienced creator, writer, strategist, and mixologist, Edom Baharu.
Yeah.
Woo!
What?
And in the left corner, we have Henok Tesfaye, her husband.
That's it. That's all I have going for me.
Yeah, please tell us about yourself, Henok.
First of all, Henok vile chattet.
Oh, Jupi.
Sounds very strange. Nobody calls me Henok except andeng film na nina barul George.
Trauma.
But I andeng research. I just love jiu-jitsu. That's quite important.
That's part of your personality.
Yeah, that's not my personality. That's just my life.
Okay.
I like choking
That's his
people.
brand.
Okay.
I like choking people. I like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Love that for you.
Yeah.
Love that for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so we have the lovely couple here, and we're trying to get some perspectives, thoughts, and feelings about, we're going to talk about a lot, but it's going to be primarily love, relationships, and other fun things like jiu-jitsu and choking people, you know?
And your commitment to that.
And commitment.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, okay, so let's start off with the first question. I guess we can fire it off. Is love necessary? The reason I'm starting off is because on another tangent, it's related, I promise. My previous guest, he's really against long-term relationships, love, committed relationships. He's not about that life because he feels like everybody shouldn't be following the same route because people are drastically different. And he said, I don't think love is necessary for me. I'll get double gabi. And then I'll keep myself warm. He's like, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh my God, I love that I'm by myself. So he's very content and stuff. So what I'm saying is in terms of relationships, like love in that sense, like, is that necessary? Do you feel?
No. I was a happily single person. And now I am a happily married woman.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Like, at the time that I was single, I was very content with that. I was very happy with that. And it was enough for me. I was, it was just nice. It's cool. But then I didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was like in a relationship that I was happy in. And then this guy just comes around from a left corner and just kapow, and now I am happy demo.
Yep.
On another note, in another level.
Yep.
And it's not comparison of how happy am I compared to how when I was. It's completely different.
Yeah.
It's not comparable. So for me, it's not necessary. Okay. As long as you're happy. It's fine.
Okay.
But don't limit. I wouldn't limit myself from relationships just because I'm happy single. You know what I mean? Like, if there is a way that I can experience a different type of happiness and still like it, then
You're open.
Yeah.
Open to experience. What about you?
Yeah, it's an before we met, I was just happy. I was just ready to live alone forever. Just didn't like what I had to compromise or what I thought I had to compromise to be in a relationship.
Or living with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I learned is it's wanting to be alone is not the same thing as fearing a relationship. I can be completely okay being alone, እንዳልሽው like double gabiin ደርቤ ሙቀት ይቻላል. But some people get into a relationship because they think they need someone else's gabi or something to be warm.
Yeah.
So it becomes like a need. It's this, I have a need and that person has to meet my needs, and then
what's the need with dating? I don't get it.
It just shouldn't be a need. I feel like it shouldn't be finding your other half. It should be you need to be a whole person.
Yeah.
And then you find another whole person, you're like, oh yeah, we're
Just
chilling,
hang out.
we're vibing. Yeah. Because most people, and this is the thing that I wanted to stress, I've been saying we are the Wattpad generation. We're the Twilight generation.
Yeah.
We feel like there needs to be highs and lows and extreme matters of you're like, I can't live without you, like,
Yeah, I feel like we want the
romanticize.
nuances to be punched out of us, through experiences, by the way.
But traumatic experiences.
Yeah, why? I don't understand. Like, I don't know why people need feel the need to date to find someone.
To fill the gaps like that you feel it for yourself.
Okay.
See, I think that's why. And I think we also glorify that's what I mean. We glorify the fact that I'm not whole without you, so I just need my other half. And even the language that we use is dictated by you are half of a person and you need the other half to be whole. And usually that's, I think, the most glorified part. And that's why.
Also, they say that. I mean, even religion, social etiquette, and everything tells you you were two, but now you are one type of. No, you're still two. Like, the math is not math in here, bro.
Like, your better half something. It's like قطعمون አገኘች. Like, and she just كفت the destination, then قطعم يمጣና now you're whole.
Now
you're complete.
Exactly.
Now.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think
but
of
you
that.
can be complete individually and also complete as a couple. That's my point. Like, as a couple, I'm not saying individually in a couple's relationship. I mean, as a couple, as two people, you make yourself complete. There's no compromise that ends in happiness for both, right? There's no happy compromise for me.
Compromise is not win-win. It's lose-lose.
It's lose-lose.
You're happy that the other guy did not win. Now you're cool.
And when people say marriage is compromise, I just cringe because I don't know. For me, was it like that for you, babe?
No, it's one thing I never liked in Dalkush. It's compromise. It's supposed to be the adult thing to do, but you can, like, all that trauma, you remember when you lost, when somebody made you do something, when you got out-reasoned, out anything, you remember that. So today's compromise is tomorrow's resentment. እንደዚህ አድርጌልሽ የሚመጣ ይመስለኛል.
Facts. Actually, yeah. Like,
damn.
I didn't even think of that.
We talked about this, but I forgot about it. So here's the thing. Okay, so maybe a tangent, but I don't know.
It's
maybe
related,
it will come
I
in.
promise.
I promise it's related. So I am a huge advocate of individualism.
For sure, fact.
I don't know why, but I believe that everything starts with the individual. And if you focus on your individual experience, forget the jazz. Like, hey, me met on jazz, just forget about that. If you're married, you are compromising. If you're if you're a black independent woman, you have to be this. No, let's
this,
not.
That, and the other.
Has your experience told you that you are that type of person in that context? That's what. And if it has, do you think you will be doing the same right now? Because context changes with time, right?
That's
the same context, different time, different outcomes, different decisions. So why do we listen when people tell us what relationships are? People in relationships tell you what relationships are, and you listen to them. Why? I don't get it. No, I mean it. Like, when people ask me for, like, they ask me, what is being in a relationship like? Because people who knew me before I got married or before I was in a committed relationship and whatever, they ask me, how? I'm like, I don't know. I found myself in it. Like, it's not something I planned.
It's not a rite of passage, but that's how people treat it.
Yeah. So why are you so keen to listen to me? Don't listen to me. What worked for me is not going to work for you. Yes, we might have the same experiences, but we can only talk about it after you've experienced it.
Yeah.
So just live your life.
Imagine
day
describing
by day.
the color orange to someone who's never seen the color orange. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
You have to be there. It's a you have to be there situation.
Like, so I don't understand. Like, individualism is important in that everything is catered to you. Whatever decision you make is catered to you in your context and how you react to it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that whatever. You want to do that, Aidish? Like,
exactly.
You're not married to Droopy. I can tell you, but you're not married to Droopy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like, someone calls you and they tell you, I'm making something. How do I make it taste better? How the fuck do I know?
How do I make
sugar?
it taste better?
Like, I don't know. Maybe you're making a burger. I can't just say just sugar, salt. Just can't just
caramel syrup. And he's making like a
what? Yeah.
Is that actually?
That's a perfect relation.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it makes it sound like inexplicable. But any experience is singular. I'm sure people can narrow their uncertainty by conversation ይሄ ማለት
And by seeing different perspectives, yes.
ሌላ ሰው በማዋራት you'll never know what orange is like orange አይቼ ማላቅ ካልሆነ but ቀይ አይቼ ማላቅ ቀይ አይቼ ማቅ ከሆነ this is not it ማለት ይቻላል.
Yeah.
You know, like you can narrow it down. You can narrow it down.
You know how your relationship was with Antana? Not that.
Yeah. Step one.
Yeah,
so it's not like impossible to explain. So maybe perfectly explain like the regular, but I'm sure you can
tell you
explain
my experiences.
Not that.
I can tell you my experiences, and you can take whatever is similar to yours. Like lemsali, I can tell you how we met and why how we met has I don't know, a sense
worked
of whatever.
Towards
this. And if you met your partner the same way you did and you are experiencing the same thing, then maybe you can say, oh, maybe that's why as well. Is that a factor? Bila, you can take it as an investigation point. Like, oh shit, I can start here type of deal, like a clue.
I mean, in relation to this, though, what I wanted to say is, with telling people your experiences, people consume so much. They don't even need to come to you. There's so much negative, I would say, connotations of relationships, not just online, but in general. Like I said, we're the Twilight generation. We're the Harley Quinn and Joker. We're the people who applaud that.
Yeah.
That was batshit crazy. That's batshit crazy. And we lose the point most of the time. And then see, oh yeah, maybe this is our been through a lot. Maybe, yeah, he pushed me down the stairs, but, we went skiing. Like,
I don't understand that, though.
Yeah, it's just we love the highs and lows. I think, for me, I'm not
We've been through a lot.
We've been through a lot. And then that's supposed to be like your proof that you're in a good relationship. But for the most part, I feel like people should, I think, aspire to routine, at least. There shouldn't be extreme highs and lows. There, of course, you fall out, you have arguments. These extreme highs and lows that we're commodifying and putting out and consuming in media is the relationship what's here right now. So I feel like consuming that is also a negative, as much as it is trying to cut out your relationship based on the cardboard that you've described. So there are negative ones out there too.
Don't you think that's more like not seeing where your life is going to go with that person? When you commit to somebody, you commit to the drama.
The drama.
So to speak. Yeah, like it might be, oh, I can change him. It might be, oh, this is... Nobody looks at a person and says, oh, I can see myself, I can see us together in the morning brushing our teeth next to each other.
That's not something people think about.
It's not. Especially really not on first dates, not when you first see a person or whatever. What you see is, oh my God, there's trauma. I can fix him. But then you don't think past fixing him. Or fixing her, or whatever. Like, they commit to the project, the savior complex, like that it fulfills.
That's an Abraham complex.
I like this saying, fiction is all of life's boring parts removed. That's one.
Oh my God. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. And then the second one is, life is stranger than fiction, obviously, because fiction has to make sense. Have you ever seen superheroes?
No.
But that's how they probably
got
fighting one monster might take 5 minutes, but washing that shit, putting it in the dryer, you don't see that. You'll realize that the highlights are really high, but most of the time it's just dull
mundane shit. Everyday shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so fact. That's fact.
Yeah.
That's fact.
And I love what you said first. Fiction is all of life's parts, boring parts, like just removed, right?
Yeah.
Name a movie that followed them after they got married and showed you
the day-to-day.
The day-to-day. Literally just making... Living together is consistently finding out what you want to have for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner.
It's routine. It's boring.
It's just...
I think that's what we should aspire to, by the way. Yeah. That's literally what being in a healthy relationship is. There's this borderline አለ በቃ አለ አይደለ? You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
just routine, and that's what you should be aspiring to.
When people say commitment, I think to myself, do they mean commitment as in like the long haul wayness? Are they being committed to
this one project?
Yeah. That's what I.
So አንደኛው committing to the project ምናምን ቅድም ያልሽው the savior complex, it's not thinking past it የሚለው ነገር. I know some relationships that if both of them get what they want, relationship will fail ያደርጋል. Sometimes we take on projects because we know they're not going to
they're impossible.
They're impossible.
Yeah.
So that you can just keep trying to do the impossible and then ይቀጥላል.
Yeah.
ተሳክቶልሽ ግን like if it actually works out, then you have nothing.
There's no high.
Yeah, good.
Anymore.
So chasing the high, knowing something will not end gives you the uncertainty. Maybe it's this time. Maybe change you might keep chasing it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what boring ቅድም ያልሽውን ማልስማማ እንዴት መሰለሽ? If you're not chasing anything, you're not bored. Like the way እኔ የማስበው, some people, this relationship lost its spark. ምን ነው? ጠፋ? I don't know.
Yes, that's literally what it is. That's what it means though. That's what they mean.
Imagine this. The longer you know with someone, the longer you live with someone, the longer you stay in a relationship with someone, the more you know them. Less guessing is involved.
Yeah. Which
mission
is what you
accomplished,
want.
waste, mission failed. For some people,
mission failed because they want to stay spontaneous, because they want to be impulsive, because they want like.
Some people play to win, and some people play to play.
To play.
Like one thing, it's a tangent, slight tangent. Again,
I swear it's related.
I swear
it's related. I promise.
One thing, but the selling nagar is casino slot players. The one thing they hate is winning.
Wow. Why?
Because if they win, there's a big animation, and then the money has to. So during that time, they can't play.
Oh, it's an addiction. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They hate winning because it fucking breaks the
cycle.
The momentum, and they hate it.
What?
Yeah. So that's.
I thought that was the goal.
You think, Saracho Naitish, but the moment they win, it ruins the thing, because then what?
Oh, wait. Are we talking about slot addicts, or are we talking about those people who go to Vegas for like a day?
No, where he's talking about slot
they
addicts.
play to win. But the people who go there consistently, they don't want to win, because after winning, there's like a dip in motivation or whatever. And then you start to meet yourself, and you're not interesting, you're troubled. You hate yourself. Yeah.
That's fine.
Now you have. What do you do when you have nothing to do?
Yourself?
Yeah, because
what does that mean?
think no, because it makes sense. Like, you know how some people can't be alone with themselves.
Yeah.
They need to be constantly doing something. So if you've already fixed whatever needs to be fixed in the relationship, and now it's routine, and then it's salam sisaf. Now you have to deal with yourself and your trauma, bitch. Like, what about now? And then that's what people don't want to do.
I don't have time for myself. I don't have time for myself because I'm helping others. Is what we say, because damn, I've actually done that before.
It's easier to help someone. It's easier to help someone
than to help yourself.
The other person's problem always looks easier. Like, I read somewhere, there's this Ugandan kid who wants to grow up, go to America and fix the American economic system.
Bruh.
And there's this white guy in America who wants to come to Uganda and fix the water system. You just think the other person's problem is just so fucking simple. You can just go there. So check this out. Bam, bam, bam.
And then
if change was easy, you would have changed yourself.
Okay, so there's this guy who used to work with NGOs and helping get water to the people,
okay.
And then they go to this place, Ethiopia, I don't know where it is, but then Afarno, and then they saw that there's a whale, Zaga, there's like a minch, and they go like, hey, you guys are like, there's a shortage of drinking water. Yeah, there's a shortage of water, but there's literally a spring, Aziga, just like, why yafallaka? So why don't we just Zagar whale in Nasralacho na bono tadergo kaza yuwasad tabal? And then they are like, yay tabal. So even Katamiso, Bambali Gabalino, Shialu Manam. And then they did that, and then they left. And then when they come back, there's still shortage of water. Why? Because they're not using it.
Why?
Why are they not using it?
No, they broke it. They beat the shit out of it and broke it.
They actually broke it so that nobody could use it. Yeah. Why Sibal? Because the የምንጩ ውሃ is left for the adbars, for the spirits of the dead.
Yo.
Not for those that,
Oh, okay.
and now, so there's a reason they don't use that water. So if you think you can change something with a very easy solution, it's probably not easy.
And
This-
I
that's probably
thought
not the way.
you were telling the other story where the same thing. Like let's drill. They found water near to the settlements,
Okay.
and then they dug a hole, bono, everything, and then after a few weeks they beat the shit out of it and broke it. When they found out why they did it, the women, the only free time, just
That they
freedom
have?
that they have is
Yeah.
when they walk to the river to get some water.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And that's where they
the
meet their friends. That's where they socialize.
now the saviors are thinking they're giving them water, but what they're doing is
Taking away
stripping
their freedom.
So this is what you're doing
Yeah.
when you try to fix someone.
Damn.
You have no idea what the fuck, why everything is where
Where
it
it
is, and they have no idea why everything is the way it is. But you also don't know why everything is the way it is in yourself. But it's so simple.
To come and then fix somebody else's problem when you have your own. Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
Like there was this topic that we had some time back. Change is not one thing. There is no such thing as changing one thing. So let's say you're a smoker
Okay.
and you want to quit smoking. If I could just quit smoking, I'm a very nice person. If I could just quit smoking,
Then everything will be fine.
and then everything is going to be okay. The only thing I'm going to do is just stop smoking. But then you don't smoke means that you don't hang out with where your friends hang out, because they hang out where they can smoke freely outside, and you prefer the indoors now.
Yeah.
But they don't see that. And then if you stop smoking and you don't hang out with them, you have new friends, and your new friends have new habits. For example, Tuesday could be ጥሬ ስጋ Tuesday. ስለዚህ now you have ጥሬ ስጋ ከእነሱ ጋር, or you go out and you have ጥብስ ምናምን, which means your spending habit has changed. Spending habit has changed means that you need to start making more money, which means, and then it just cascades.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as one change. So when people tell you, you just need to change this, they don't know what
They
the
have no
fuck
idea.
they're talking about. You have no fucking idea, so just shut the fuck up and just sit your ass down.
Oh my god, that's facts. That's facts. My next question is like, what's more important? You think, is it love or compatibility? What's more important?
What do you mean by compatibility?
So there's love, right? And then there's compatibility in terms of, do we want to live in the same city? Do we want to have kids? Do we, whatever. Like, do we both use our toilet paper? Do we do it over, not under? Like, shit like that. I don't know. Do you guys
I have
understand?
no idea. I mean, for me, it started with love. It just so happened that we were compatible, and tamasganno. But everything else was up, like, it was just,
Wow.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Jupi, compatibility or love?
So compatibility ሲባል ሁለት ነው የመጣብኝ። Like አንደኛው is to be compatible ማለት እንደ ሶኬት ቀዳዳውና የሚደፍን አይነት
No, just እናግጣም ምናምን ቅድም አይደለም ብለናል. We said no.
compatible ቅድም ያልሽው አንደኛ ኤግዛምፕል የሰጠሽው is similarity.
Yeah, similarity and also aladala, like
Aligned priorities, I guess.
yeah, aligned priorities, and also, do you guys have the same jokes? Do you guys like the same, things? Do you watch the same movies? Whatever. Does that design
Do you have the
compatibility
same
could be, I like olives and you don't like olives, and that makes us compatible because I can just have your olives and shit like that.
Or you could both like olives and just buy a shit ton of olives.
Yeah, that's the two types.
Yeah.
I love how you
Like-
guys are looking at this.
Yeah, compatibility city, there's the complementariness. Oh, I'm the quiet one, she speaks for me. Like there are people like that. I'm an introvert, she's the extrovert.
Yeah, one's
Okay,
like
cool.
hot-headed, one's
Yeah,
raga
አንደኛው
ያለው.
ረጋ ይላል. Cool. Again, it still reminds me of, in a way, it's like refusing to grow.
Oh, set in your ways.
Yeah. Like imagine this.
Thank you.
Oh, she cooks because I can't.
Arabaki.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's yeah.
Or it's like, oh, she loves cooking and I can't cook.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, she doesn't love it.
Yeah, she's
Being
just doing it because she
inflexible
can.
is not a fucking badge to show off. Yeah, I
Being
didn't.
rigid?
I couldn't cook. Like that should be the goal.
Okay. I mean, I didn't look at it that way, you guys. For me, it was a simple question.
For me, how I understood the question is, are there things that you're not compatible on that you, for example, there are things that we're not compatible on. There's a few things that we overlook because we don't even think about them because it's not even an issue. You know, like, for example, you don't ask that when you have friends.
Yeah, that's true. Like, with your friends, you're like, are we compatible as friends?
Are we compatible or are we like in love? No, you don't. We don't say that. Like, you love them and you are compatible. You're compatible because you choose to learn their interests.
Yeah.
They choose to learn yours.
Okay.
They sometimes take a step further in your direction and you take it further in theirs. And that's
I can make
what it
an
is.
example. Like, so I can give two examples.
Okay.
The first one being compatibility could be in terms of love languages, attachment style, ምናምን ነገር አለ. And then for someone where compatibility became an issue when they really loved is they were so in love and then they were watching this movie, ቁጭ ብለው, and then it was a movie about Africans in America, and now she was going to America, and now they were goodbye እንትን እያዘጋጁላት ምናምን. There's ritualistic welcome ምንድነው good luck
Going
ነገሮች
away.
አሉ አይደል? አሁን እዚህም እንደምናደርጋቸው አሁን ለምሳሌ አድባር ብለን የምንበት ነው. It's just some
Yeah.
things that are, you know, considered ritualistic, but only with
They're
the
just
Christian
cultural,
eyes.
yeah.
They're cultural things. So when they were watching that movie, he's like, yeah, this is witchcraft. And she's like, no, this is our tradition. This is what people put value in. They're doing this to send her off. He's like, no, but it's witchcraft. And she's like, yeah, because before the white man came, this was what we did, you
Yeah.
know, but just because somebody came and told you that it was witchcraft is why you consider it. And now, they didn't even finish the movie. And then she's just like, I love this man, but if this is the astayat that he has, then I don't think we're compatible because he has such a skewed vision. So her spirituality being like, you know, meditating, crystals and shit, so he's going to consider that witchcraft. And she's like, but I want him because you're going to think I'm doing some batshit crazy things. And then compatibility in that sense, ራሱ ሊሆን ይችላል, you know, beliefs ምናምን ነገር. So
አሁን እየመጣልኝ ነው I think.
So what do you guys think?
in my experience, there is nothing talking has not solved.
Yeah. Humility is the problem.
Yeah, dig deep enough, she will understand that that's not all that he thinks. Dig deep enough, he will understand that that's not all that she thinks. Because we are afraid of how vulnerable we can get when we sit down,
And
calm
explain.
ourselves, and explain,
Yeah.
we tend to get heated in the moment and let that take us. And in that, we let our assumptions run ahead of us. So, for example, in this specific example, for example, it's she thought he didn't understand because the white man came and told him. But taking that assumption and then running with it and then believing that that's what he will think of crystals, that's what he will think. Where does he draw the line? We don't know because he has not been asked. He thought she believes in witchcraft and whatever, but he does not know what she considers witchcraft and what she considers not.
And I guess explaining why this is important to her
Exactly.
and stuff.
Exactly. So, for example, like, it's very simple. Like, for her to identify that it's not witchcraft, it means that there are some things she considers as witchcraft. And to not see the otherness of herself and him not seeing and recognizing the otherness of himself, it just escalates the entire. So
they're being their biases. His whole personality is a Christian, being a Christian,
Yeah.
and her whole personality is just that. And that's no clash.
there's nothing that has not been solved by just talking for more than your uncomfortable time.
ይሄ ኮምፓቲቢሊቲ የሚለው ነገር I can imagine an upper limit. ይሄ ማለት if you find everything the other person does alien, it will not make you feel at home. That's what a culture shock is, Sasabo.
Yeah.
Like you go to another country, everything they do. If they lived in your country, you'd call them wrong. But now you're living in their country, now you're just all messed up.
You gotta do like the Romans.
Yeah, but you also think like yours is right. When you come to this whole thing like I'm right and everybody else is wrong, I feel sorry for them, but I won't judge them. That's a problem.
Yeah.
It's okay that the guy thinks, you know, it's magic way, witchcraft and all, okay.
I guess he won't come meditate with you.
No.
And that's
But
maybe-
Yeah.
does he have the humility to doubt himself? Like nobody thinks they're crazy. And for me, nothing makes me feel more crazy than trying to explain why someone else is crazy. That's where all those random assumptions that I have come. Like, why would you do it like this? Because you have to do it like this. If that person says, why do I have to do it like that? I'm like, shit, I'm as crazy as the other guy.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have the humility to believe whatever the fuck you believe
Is the
it's
other.
just random.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the
just
other.
some random shit you picked up along the way. You'll just think you're right. And now if you're right, then the other person is wrong. But if
Okay.
you're interested in the other person, if you're confident that that person is as random as you are, then but mostly people think they're right.
They don't. Yeah, that's the thing. When we first started dating, that was the weirdest thing for me, because the first thing that I learned was that I am just as the other. That's when we met. Like around the time that we met was when I started thinking that I am just as strange as the other guy. There's nothing stranger than myself.
Whoa.
Yeah, I am just as strange as the other guy.
Yeah.
Like, nothing you do makes sense to me because nothing I do makes sense to
you.
you.
Wow. That's such a good place to start, is assuming that yeah, I am gonna need to explain certain things about myself and the things I'm feeling and manam and nega. Okay, so I guess I will shift my question to be like, for you, what would be a sign of incompatibility? Like, not you two, but like you're like, these two people should not be together. What is incompatible?
Like the lack of humility.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
Like, that's
The
it.
otherness thing, if they both don't understand that, at least it's gonna be tough for them
If
to.
one person is, humble and then tries to understand the other person, and then the other person thinks, I guess he proved that I was right, like mistaking empathy and compassion for approval, and then the other person keeps getting dug in and dug in and dug in and dug in.
Damn, that sounds depressing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why most people
that's the
don't
worst.
like relationships, and
Yeah.
it's so understandable.
That's
It's
the thing.
fine.
It's so just like you think it's easy to fix the other person. It's always easy to blame the other person.
Yeah.
Nobody said, "Why did you dump him?" I don't know, because I'm crazy. Nobody
Says that. It's always the
guy
other
who's crazy.
person.
Like, why is the toilet paper turning the other way dumber than some?
And it's for your ass. I don't think people should think about it.
Yeah, it's really not that deep. It's really not that deep.
Your brain is in the toilet.
Literally.
Yeah, humility kalila. If you think you're right and the other person is wrong, that's where fixing comes. That's where all of that
there's this one
horribleness.
like deal breakers in me
Deal breakers. Yeah.
Lemsali, priority wise. For example, she wants kids but he doesn't.
Yeah.
Not gonna work. I'm sorry. I've never seen it work, at least in my experience. I've never seen that
Isn't
shit
it
work.
something that people can talk about?
Men.
It's controversial. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like it's, but I'm hearing it also as an issue, but Nana, we could talk about it for a long time because
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you also have to remember that if the guy wants a kid but can't have one, he can't have one.
Yeah.
It's a choice for her. You understand? Like, for her, not wanting a kid means, oh, I changed my mind, now I want one. But for him, not wanting a kid doesn't mean anything. It's
Yeah.
about, like, will she let you have a kid? You get what I mean? There's also that side. So, for example, in a marriage, if the girl doesn't want kids, but he wants one, and then, like, the wife just, like, gives in, quote unquote, she gives him kids.
Yeah.
But then she hates her life
Yeah.
because she had to give up a lot in terms of she had to give up the one choice that she has over the matter. She had to give up her body, yes, and she had to give up her life and raise them and whatever.
postpartum depression.
That breastfeeding, your body's not yours anymore.
Your life is
Blah,
not
blah,
yours
blah.
anymore.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, he wants kids. She doesn't. And she doesn't give him kids. Imagine the resentment that he has.
I didn't think about that.
You know what I mean? It's it's the one thing he can't do for himself.
Out of in wedlock.
Well,
Yeah.
he has to live, like, he has to leave his wife.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So imagine the resentment that builds up, Zaka. And then there is, she wants kids, but he doesn't, and she still has them.
So he's stuck now in a relationship.
Now
that he
he's
didn't
being
want.
forced. Not only that, he's not only
By
in
law,
a relationship.
by law.
By law.
Yeah.
Now I sound like a men's rights activist, but yeah.
No, it's okay. They'll love you.
like አሁን እዚህ ጋር compatibility የሚለው ትርጉም እየሰጠኝ ያለው like I can still see it in two ways. አንደኛው I like working out, he doesn't. Any difference can be seen as incompatibility if you're not willing to do it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you don't like doing it by yourself, why are you blaming someone else for not wanting to do it?
Exactly.
If you don't like it, why would someone else do it? Like, if you like working out, then work out. Why do I have to work out? You know?
Oh.
But sometimes, even after you're flexible. So, like, even though humility and like openness gives you freedom to change your mind and to find what sits well with you, it doesn't mean that every possibility is open to you.
Mm-hmm.
Humility is the openness to receive change, whatever it is, Nonji. It doesn't mean you can choose what you're going to change to.
Yeah.
Hey Malet, she wants kids. He's phobic. Like, he's phobic.
Yeah.
Therapied. And then discovered that shit. And after discovering that, you know what? I'm calm now. I don't want kids. Kala? Now that's a proper incompatibility.
Okay.
ጊዜ ካለ ምሳሌ like she has 1 year of fertility left እንበል እና እሱ
let me think about it.
Let me think about it, I'm still trying to like live in my ካለ okay, that's an incompatibility. Another major one is ሌላ ሀገር መኖር ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ መኖር ምፈልጋለሁ የሚል አለ. It's not like a phobic reaction thing. It's like I have family here ምናምን this is home and then the other person wants to leave. That's a practical, external incompatibility. Yeah, just 5 minutes of introspection solve የሚያደርገው ነገር incompatibility አለው. That's a difference.
Exactly.
Don't want to talk about that shit. It's too much work.
External factors in terms of like kids, ሌላ ሀገር መኖር, these things are incompatible. But for example, she doesn't want to work. He wants her to work. That doesn't happen.
In this economy, girl, everybody needs to work. The kids need to work. We need to get a second job.
I swear to God.
Get the dog to work.
That's my point. Like, that never happens. There's no such thing as, I'm going to work, but you have to work as well. That's a you thing. That sounds like a you problem. Deal with it and then come talk to me.
Okay.
Like,
I guess now we can look at it from a commitment point of view. So, what is commitment, first of all? And then how is it reflected in a relationship is what I want to know.
Commitment is bullshit, man.
Ooh.
Damn.
That's a huge and you better back it up.
It's commitment is commitment ጋብሮ የሚመጣልኝ ነገር is discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline. No.
Discipline?
You rock a discipline. Discipline, I looked it up in the dictionary and it says punishment with the intent to change.
Correct.
God damn.
That's
punishment with the intent to correct.
You do.
It's such a negative thing.
Yeah, and like
and they talk about it as if it's a positive thing.
Every day.
I'm sorry. I'm going on a tangent. Go on,
it's
bro.
It's one thing to have figured out that you have been in love. It's one thing to have figured out that you have been committed, and it's another to do something to be committed.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I put the ring on that finger, not because I decided to be committed. When I decided to marry her,
he found himself already married.
Yes. Like, the symbols must come after the feeling. And you don't fucking decide who your wife is.
To start.
You just realize, oh shit, and then, you know what, okay, let's just wear a ring. So commitment
you experience first. It's something that we found out together, but
yeah, the commitment is like setting up a trap so that you won't change your mind. Commit, you're not committed, Sibal. You're feeling like garbage. You want to stop, but don't stop.
We were talking about joining gyms. Why I don't like the whole jazz of joining gyms.
I promise it's related.
I promise it's related. It's because I like working out. So I don't need something external to keep me going to the gym. like a money commitment, a time commitment, a time bound የሆነ schedule.
The consequence is what keeps you going.
But I don't want that. I like working. When that happens, the reason I don't like employment, the reason I don't like gyms, the reason I don't like predetermined commitments is because the moment I turn something, I pre-commit to something that I already want to do, it becomes a job. It just becomes work. It becomes suffering.
Yeah.
Because discipline is literally suffering. It's like, oh, you don't have the discipline to go to the gym. So why don't you pay for 3 days? ሰኞ ማክሰኞ ሐሙስና ቅዳሜ ትሄጂ ሌላ ቀን. If you had an extra day of free gym, would you go on Friday? No, you won't, because you go like, no. These 3 days are your gym and I committed to 3 days. No, but why? If you love it, then you would do it at any time, anywhere. Now you have to go through this vetting process of gyms, like which one do I join, which one reflects my...
So the commitment is coming before the actual thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, the commitment is coming before
Quote,
the commitment.
unquote.
The actual being committed.
Yeah.
ከዛ በፊት ይመጣና then the same thing with gym or anything. It's you have this feeling.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you're not secure in your sexual life. Let's say the religious part of you calls you a hoe, like...
you're a slut.
Yeah, you're a slut. ከዛ እድሜም ገፋ እኔ በቃ ከንቱ ነኝ ወይ ምናምን የሚለውን መነጫነጭ አለ. And then you meet one person and you decide what they are. There's this meme.
You decide what they are.
Let me assign impossibly magical attributes to you so that I can resent you.
Oh my God.
But impossible. But the first day I just decided that she's the one. قتل. بوهالا when he feels like shit, he feels trapped. Let's say you're in prison. You know what? I love my life. Let it challenge. You can talk out of your ass. Like, maybe you went to prison to discipline yourself. Maybe in the rehab, not to discipline yourself.
Okay.
That's not disciplining yourself.
That's
like, that is actually like, you're getting punished, you can't leave.
Yeah.
That screams, you're not ready.
Yeah.
If you need something external
to force you.
To make sure that you can't change your mind,
make sure that you can't
change your mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
it means
already
that you are not committed. It means that you know there is a chance that there are a set of circumstances, many of them, that will make you change your mind. And there is only one circumstance, very specific, that will force you to not change your mind.
Are you committed to your friends? Like, when they have a bad time, you're there for them. When they have a good time, you're happy for them. Abrachu, celebrate taragalachu.
Yeah.
When they're depressed, maybe you help them up. You don't feel committed.
No.
Because you are committed. It doesn't feel a certain way. You're just there.
You don't call it a commitment.
Imagine this. Imagine if you set alarms to call every single one of your friends.
That would be ridiculous.
Yes.
That would be
that tells
so
you
ridiculous.
You're not... Yeah.
Exactly. That's how...
then I don't want to be friends.
That's how I see
exactly.
about being a gym. Like, you don't want to go to the gym. That's why you have days for the gym.
Yeah, that's why you're forcing yourself to go.
Exactly.
So I guess that's
just
what
like
marriage is for some people, though.
If you think you're going to need something to prevent you from doing what you want, you kind of know the relationship isn't all that you want. So if you have reservations, I think it's time to look inside.
Damn.
If you haven't found yourself already committed, then don't do like extra gestures to be more committed.
It's something that happens to you. It just splits you in the brain, and now there's this part of you that wants the traditional, this is my way out, and the other side more fuck marriage, that's just prison, and then you meet someone and then you decide she's the savior or he's the savior. That's going to last a few months.
So for me, I think the definition of commitment would be, then it's like staying loyal to what you said you would do long after like the feeling has passed. After that initial decision, and then that feeling has passed and you're still doing the thing with ease, is commitment.
Oh, good.
With ease.
Because
with
you're
ease.
Ease doesn't mean easy. I don't know. Like,
no.
Internal conflict. If you're internal conflict to if when the feelings pass, as if like feelings are not bad.
It's not.
No, من معناته مسألة maybe you're just intoxicated. Like, would you follow up with a plan you came up with shit-faced?
No.
Why would I listen to that fucking nut job
It's literally...
who was so fucking high, who heard one joke from that chick and she, oh my gosh, she gets me. What? My life shall not be led by the lesser man.
It's true. And legally, even if you sign a contract and you were inebriated, it doesn't.
If the government doesn't listen to me when I was drunk, why would I?
Listen to me.
Yeah, I take that better. You know why? Because I am not the same Edom I was yesterday. For example, right now, I am committed to write because right now I love writing. I have a novel idea that I think would be great. I'm going to start writing a novel, Alquin. I just made a commitment in your definition, right?
Yeah.
And then I haven't set up anything to keep me writing or anything.
No.
It's just out of love. I'm going to write.
Writing.
Yeah, exactly. And then I started. It's okay for me to stop when I no longer enjoy that shit. You know what I mean? It's choosing every day. What I believe commitment is. Yeah. It's choosing every day. When somebody is in a relationship with someone, I don't think it's about like, I choose you every day right now. No. I choose you today. And then I wake up tomorrow and I'll decide again.
That's a direct quote from my friend Hannah. And Miki, Yanni Bezalan Yenabera, they used to have this podcast called Makdading. And this is literally a direct quote from her. And she literally said, the relationship is getting up every day and choosing him every day, and that's the relationship. I don't know if this is forever, but right now I woke up and chose him right now.
Thank you. Thank you. It's moment to moment. That's what I mean. Having faith that I will be happy is one thing, but then convincing myself that I am happy for every moment of every day for the next 50 years is a lie.
Faith is okay.
So I guess these are things that people should proactively be discussing in each other's relationships, and to each their own. Begin proactively discussing it. Also, the reason I said people are scared, that's why people don't talk about this shit, is because most people don't want to show that vulnerability. Like you said, that uncomfortableness comes from, I don't want to look like I'm more invested. I don't want to look like I'm the one who wants to get married. Whatever insecurities that you might have is zaga. I'm sure if you discuss it. No, if you don't discuss it,
So, very unpopular opinion, but do you want to have babies is a first date question. I'm sorry.
Who's
but
asking that question on the first date?
No, you have to. That's my point. That's the only deal breaker that there is, right? If there is anything.
Country, like, do you...
Yeah, those, like the external things is the first date questions that you need to ask.
I feel like this is a very mature stance. I agree with you.
In hindsight.
Are you healing from your trauma? Like, what are you doing to heal from your trauma? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How's therapy going?
How's therapy? First date question.
But in first date, you have to ask the questions that would stop the relationship
from progressing.
Progressing, right? So, am I wasting my time here? Do you want babies or not? And she says yes, and you say no. And then you go like, are you willing to talk about it? And she says no, and you say no. And you're like, okay, then I guess we're not doing nothing.
So incompatibility, I guess that's what it looks like.
Yeah, the actual the external compatibility, if it's not reactive, then it's too bad.
I think it was within the first 3 days that we talked about this.
God damn.
I don't know. We talked about everything.
I swear for 8 months, that's all we did.
Okay.
We just talked about ourselves.
So, do you guys believe that there's such a thing as unconditional love? Is it realistic?
Between?
Unconditional love, is it something that exists? Because it's for me, it's very a Christian notion.
Yeah.
He loved you unconditionally throughout your sins, and he died for you, and then that's just the way that we perceive love as unconditional. It's about absorbing someone's heart. It's not about helping them relieve. It's like unconditional love, sipal, without any conditions. And I don't know, I just want to hear your opinion on it, Bazan.
So, very Christian. Yeah, it's very Christian. Again, it's very relatable. Like unconditionally milo nagar. Like I heard somewhere that Jesus doesn't love you because you're a person. Him loving you makes you a person.
Okay.
Unconditionally milo nagar, it's not really based on knowledge. It's this stance you take with people. I meet someone, it's almost as if it's the mental and physical and holistic state you need to be to receive the other person. إيه مالت, you can kill someone and still love them. Because if they have a knife, you're really compassionate, they're trying to stab you, and then you stab them, and then you mourn them. It has nothing to do with behaviors. The love is like,
I don't think it's action
believing in the
oriented.
goodness of the other person.
I don't think it's action oriented when people say unconditional love. Like, I hear unconditional love and I hear agape, right? Agape is like just the love of all things, just the love that just flows through you. You can't control it. It's uncontrollable. More than unconditional, it's more uncontrollable.
Okay.
Like, that has conditions, but those conditions are not external, they're internal. Are you well? Or are you in pain? You can't be unconditionally loving something when your leg is cut off because you're too busy screaming in pain.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't be in love and showing agape and letting love flow through you when you're running through your own trauma. So for me,
Okay.
it has nothing to do with the other
person. Oh, what the fuck they're doing.
Or, yeah, and it's not even towards them. That unconditional love is not just towards them. It's towards everything and anything around you. Unconditional love is almost a non-requisite for a relationship because it has nothing to do with the relationship.
with the relationship or the person.
Nothing.
It doesn't come from knowledge. It's not like, and it can't be used to punish or reward someone. Like, the person doesn't have to be a certain way. It's unconditional love. Sibal mi metaling is this stance yalkut is the complete faith that the other person is good. They do bad things, but they're good. They sin, but they're good. It's that stance in imi metali, which means still they harm you, you leave them. That's more practical than anything. And now, I think the fantasy the fantasy of unconditional love, I think the way you put it reminds me of the fantasy where you want someone to take care of you and accept you, and then minim nagar bitaragi, they forgive you all the time. But it's that person is the person you wish you were to yourself.
Oh my god. Whoa.
Yeah.
Deal with that
Yeah.
shit, bitchash.
Yeah. Exactly. People give the example of a mother's love for her child when they talk about unconditional love.
That's what I was actually, that's what I see it as. This is completely, like, you guys have blown my mind.
But that's the thing. Her mother's love is not unconditional love. You know why? Because she doesn't know you. Once you grow up, you're a different person. She does not know you. If she knew the traumas that you have sustained because of her, and you don't take the right steps to put that into
Together.
the right way and not heal together, then her love and the shara.
So now, like the mother's love, some guy, he was explaining a mother's love is eros, is the love that consumes.
No, it's the love that consumes is agape.
No, it doesn't consume you. You want to consume the other thing. እናትሽ ቢሳካላት ባታድጊ ከቤት ባትወጪ እናትሽ wants you to be a certain be pure.
Eat healthy.
Yeah, so she has an image of you, and now she
That's
desires
the one that
to be one with you. If she succeeds, your life is going to be miserable.
So you're going to be back in the uterus.
Yeah.
That's the goal that never works out.
Yeah.
So that's not conditional. That's not unconditional. Yeah.
It's very
If
different.
It's almost like reality is fighting against her. It's one of those things you keep chasing because you know you're not going to succeed.
Yeah.
If your mother gets her way, I don't know, neuroticism, like trying to be safe, you'll be her child.
You'll be
forever.
in a bubble. What's
Yes.
that child in a bubble?
Exactly, and you won't be a person.
Yeah.
And if your mom knew you right now, should at best be your friend.
This is not something that I thought of because unconditional love, sipad, is just immediately. You're like, only a mother could love unconditionally because ABCD, like Nebera, but that makes so much sense. That's just a breakdown. I knew you guys were the right people for this. Yes.
You were.
It's the fun question segment. I don't have a jingle for it. I should have a jingle for it.
Fun questions.
Okay. So what's your go-to karaoke song?
He has one.
What is it?
Yeah, Aerosmith. I don't want to miss a thing in my life.
Every moment spent with you is a moment I'll treasure.
Turning
Yeah,
Tables by Adele.
Oh, Turning Tables.
So I won't let you close enough to hurt me. No, I won't ask you to just desert me. I can't give you all you think you gave me. It's time to say goodbye to Turning Tables.
She said the high notes. She said the high notes. Okay. Cool. Okay. So what do you wish people would talk more about? And what do you wish people would talk less about?
I wish people talk more about childhood trauma.
I swear to God.
It's true though.
That
You're
shit
right.
keeps coming up. My tawak botana. Like, watch yourself.
I'm reading this book now called The Body Keeps Score. And
Oh,
it's,
bro.
Bro. It's been such an eye-opening book. Nagamashu lining. I'm just shocked. I would highly recommend, for sure.
Yeah. Another one. There's this YouTube video, Internal Family Systems Mnaman Emil. It's like a demonstration stage light, and you see this very successful person. But just leader mnani tabale. It's a live therapy session stage light. And then ትንሽ ሳዋራው ሶስተኛ ክፍል ያለው እንደዚህ ሳቁብኝና ሁለተኛ ብዬ ያው 50 ዓመት ሞላኝ ሲል you know what, let's not wait that long.
God
you know?
damn. Yeah, that's so funny though.
If people talk about their childhood trauma, then I don't need to tell them what they should not be talking about because they're too busy
fixing them.
What do you wish people would talk less of?
You can talk whatever you could.
You're all about open discussions, I think.
Off McFit.
I wish people would talk less about politics.
Oh, same.
Talk about it in the right settings. Don't just bring that shit to my house.
Bill Burr was saying that,
Yeah.
like, Jimmy Yarot, why are you showing me CNN? Like, the world is burning. Min lark.
Yeah.
Min lark.
Yeah, well, do I wish people would talk less about? The news. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then, what do I want people to talk more about? I wish we could all do with less talking, to be honest.
Why are you the exact opposite of what he said?
They don't talk about their traumas enough, yes. But also, people don't shut up enough. Everybody believes that they know everything. I'm trying to shut up more.
So my next question is, like, what are you trying to actively unlearn?
That's a meta question right there.
Okay, so right now I'm at a point at my life where I have unlearned a lot about myself. As of a few months back, shed what I thought I am, and I am at that point of absorbing and learning new things about me and what I like, what I don't like, what I am, what I'm not, when I'm. So that's where I'm at right now.
That's really amazing. That takes years of therapy. Well, for most people, it's going to take years of therapy. You better start saving.
Like, even if you don't go to therapy, you'd find that nothing you do matches you. Like, nothing you do or say matches your views anymore, and you're just saying it because of habits and what you've worked yourself
because
to
you're
be.
Committed.
Yeah, because you're committed to who you have made yourself into, or whatever. And then if you're not willing to just shed that, it's going to be a bit tough.
That's true. And
it was
because
tough for me for a while.
We're also very attached to our identities, forms of identities that we've identified with.
That's literally where I was for a year. And then a few months back, I was like, what the hell is going on? Take time for yourself, bro. Just shut up. Stop working for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And just listen to what you're doing. Just watch yourself, and then you'll find if you are compatible with the person that you are, and what you're doing is compatible with the identity that you're clinging on to.
What about you? What are you trying to actively unlearn?
Procrastination. How to do it, actually. Emotions, for example, it's if I feel bad, I just take my notepad out and dig deep. It's like, where the fuck did this come from? Just not analyze, just feel. You know, where does it take me back? You know, what year is this? You know, and then, oh shit. But then sometimes, let's say like our friends are coming and 5 minutes before they come, I get this weird feeling in my body. And usually I just take the notepad out and then, you know,
dig deep.
But now I only have 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Not doing that used to make me miserable. Like being forced
and
to
make
put up a
others
face.
miserable because he just has to like sit there like.
I refuse to cheer up because I don't feel bad for feeling bad. But now I'm seeing it like I have proven myself that I am the type of person who would sit down and then dig through this.
Unpack it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it okay if I unpack it 30 minutes later?
Sure.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm working on.
That sounds so nice.
Yeah, he's trying to unlearn to not self-therapize
all the time. So my last fun question is like, what's a piece of tech or book that contributed to your quality of life? It could be an app. It could be a book.
What is my quality of life to begin with?
She's like, let's unpack that.
19 books, 3 books. If I have to choose one, language in action. If I do the other ones, it's Focusing by Eugene Gendlin and Internal Family Systems by Richard Schwartz.
And you don't want to say YouTube.
I love YouTube. YouTube has contributed to my quality.
You don't want to
For
say
better or
YouTube.
worse, YouTube.
Exactly.
What about
I
you?
think for me, it's traveling.
Oh, yay!
Just being out of your element and in somebody else's. Perfect. It
That's
changed my
great.
life. The first time I traveled and saw some weird shit, I started thinking like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit really because we are very one-sided. Look, Nadlin, and not
Yeah.
seeing it when you are put out of your element. No, matayo actually your own reactions and I'm right and people are wrong. Give me don't get I know them.
Yeah, and funny enough, a lot of people when they see something new, they gravitate towards that, and they find it very hard to come back, even when they want to. But for me, what traveling taught me is, Jupi used this term last time, like, I don't want this or that or middle. I see it like a buffet. 6 of this, 2 of that, 1 of this. Okay. Like, if that is literally how I see things. I just personalize everything. Nothing is consistent for everyone. That changed my life.
Yeah.
I am singular. Stop trying to cluster me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds great. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my lame answer, which is mine is this app. It's called Habit Share or something. So Atomic Habits, like it's like habit stacking helps you with doing things consistently. It's about setting systems, not goals. So this app specifically, I use it like a game. It's kind of gamified in a sense of it just journaling, meditation, exercise, my habits, and when I do one, the other one lights up, and then I can just activate the other one. So it's like habit stacking. When I have my tea in the morning, I know to do this one thing, like to do breathing exercises for 3 minutes until my tea is done. And then after I do my breathing exercise, hey, Jio nagararagalo, and then that habit stacking, and then this has gamified it for me, and I love games. So it's just like, ooh, that's one thing. And then I feel so accomplished even before I left the house because I've done these like so tinish nagaruch. And then that one, I feel like that has definitely contributed to my quality of life.
Cool.
I'm glad you have the discipline to use the app.
Discipline.
Discipline.
You rock a discipline. When did we watch that episode? It's so stuck in my head.
2 days ago.
Okay.
It sounds funny. I've never seen it.
It's on South Park, and their karate teacher is, I think he's Japanese, and he goes like, Cartman-san, you rock a discipline. No, I don't rock a discipline.
I love that. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Us. You can say us, babe.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I don't wanna
I'm
speak for
very
you.
thankful as well.
You guys are so cute. He said, I don't want to speak for you. No.
Trying to score some points.
Where can people find you? Is there something you want to plug?
Yeah. I do cocktails every now and then when I feel like bartending. So I have this nomadic style pop-up bar that can cater to weddings, to parties, to events, bazaars. So you can find us on Instagram. It's called Our Pop-Up Cocktail Bar.
I'll plug it in. I'll put it in the link. She does make really good cocktails, I promise. It's good. I know because I don't remember anything.
And shout out to Kao Jiu-Jitsu, my homies.
Oh my God.
Saingo, Rob, Arab, and Nakadami, there's a class.
At
The first
Juventus?
class is free at Juventus. Slazy, get choke, break.
And it's
Kachkwa.
called KOBJJ on Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's
So-
very easy in Nassau.
Oh,
Follow us, like, subscribe.
All right. Well, this has been the Awazi podcast. If you like this episode, please rate us wherever you're listening to us from right now and recommend us to a friend. We need the algorithm love. I've been out for a while. And please follow the Awazi podcast Instagram and let me know what you thought of this episode. And let me know if I should bring them on again and talk about some random shit. Thank you. All right. Woo!